Vietnam. It's a country that really gets to you. It's a place where old traditions meet new ideas, where the memories of a difficult past can be felt in busy cities and peaceful rice farms. Vietnam is beautiful, has an exciting culture and strong people. It's a place you remember long after you leave. I've been lucky enough to travel all over the world. I've tried new foods, heard amazing stories, and experienced many different cultures. But there's something special about Vietnam. It's a country of opposites, where old and new live together in a way that's both surprising and beautiful. You can be walking through old temples one minute and the next, you're in a modern city with tall buildings and lots of energy. It's exciting in the best way. But Vietnam is more than just its buildings and landscapes. It's a country with a serious history, but the people are still hopeful. It's a place where simple food can be amazing, and a smile can say a lot. This is Vietnam, a charming, strong, and exciting country. Vietnam is a long, thin country shaped like a dragon. It's next to China, Laos, Cambodia, and the South China Sea. And inside its borders you'll find many different landscapes. In the north, tall mountains reach the sky, covered in green rice terraces. This is where many different groups of people live, each with their own traditions. Life is slower here, following the rhythm of nature. Further south, Ha Long Bay has amazing rock formations rising from the water. Thousands of islands shaped by wind and water over many years make it look like a dream. It's one of Vietnam's most famous places. As you go further south, the land changes again to the flat Mekong Delta. Here, the Mekong River splits into many smaller rivers, rice paddies, and floating markets. This is where Vietnam grows a lot of its rice. And then there are the beaches, miles of beautiful coastline, from the busy Nha Trang to the peaceful Phu Quoc Island. Whether you want adventure or relaxation, Vietnam's beaches have something for everyone. From the mountains in the north to the sunny beaches in the south, Vietnam is beautiful. And within this diverse landscape, there's a lot of culture and history to discover. Vietnam's history is complicated and has had a lot of problems. It's a story of strength, fighting back, and winning in the end. For many years, Vietnam has fought to be free, pushing out invaders and rebuilding after wars. From its early days as part of old kingdoms to its long relationship with China, Vietnam's history has had both internal and external problems. And then there's the Vietnam War. This terrible war changed the country. But it also showed how strong the Vietnamese people are. They fought hard for their country. Today you can still see reminders of the war, like the Cu Chi tunnels, used by Vietnamese soldiers, and the War Remnants Museum. These places help us remember the sadness of war. But Vietnam's history isn't just about war. There are also old temples and cities that show its rich culture. The imperial city of Hue reminds us of Vietnam's great past. Vietnam's history is a mix of good and bad times. It's a story of strength and a spirit that still shapes the country today. Besides its history and landscapes, the real heart of Vietnam is its people and their culture. Vietnamese culture is made up of 54 different groups of people, each with its own traditions. One important part of Vietnamese culture is its connection to the past. Respecting ancestors and older people is very important. This respect for tradition can be seen in everything from New Year celebrations to the traditional Ao Dai clothing. Religion is also important in Vietnam. Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism all exist together, and you can see their influence in the many temples. These beliefs affect everyday life and values. But Vietnamese culture isn't stuck in the past. It's a mix of old and new. As the country changes and grows, its culture also changes, keeping its important values. Section 5. A Culinary Adventure Flavors of Vietnam. For me, really understanding a culture means trying the food, and Vietnamese food is amazing. Forget what you think you know about Vietnamese food. It's fresh, smells great, and is full of flavor. It's a mix of sweet, sour, salty, and spicy. Of course, we have to talk about pho. This noodle soup is a popular breakfast food and is simple but delicious. A flavorful broth, cooked for a long time with beef and spices, is the base of this dish. Then you add beef noodles and fresh herbs. It's the perfect comfort food. But there's so much more than pho. From the crispy banh mi sandwich to the fresh goi quan spring rolls, Vietnamese food is a culinary adventure. And then there's the coffee. Vietnamese coffee is strong, sweet, and often served with condensed milk. It's a great way to start the day. In Vietnam, food is more than just eating. It's a celebration, a way to connect with people, and an important part of the culture. So, come hungry. Section 6. The people, warmth and resilience. The best part of Vietnam is its people. They are kind, strong, and never give up. They've been through hard times, but they're still hopeful. From the farmers to the street vendors, Vietnamese people work very hard. They're smart, strong, and always ready to help. I've been lucky enough to eat with families in their homes, hear their stories, and see how generous they are. Even though things have been difficult, Vietnamese people are happy and like to laugh. They find good things in every day and are optimistic. This spirit makes Vietnam so special. The Vietnamese people are the heart of the country, and their strength is inspiring. Section 7. Vietnam today, a nation on the rise. Today, Vietnam is growing and changing quickly. After many years of war and being isolated, the country is open to the world. Cities like Ho Chi Minh City and Hanoi are full of energy with new buildings going up everywhere. Vietnam's economy is doing very well thanks to young people, a good location, and a government that wants to see the country grow. Vietnam is now a big manufacturing hub attracting businesses from other countries. But Vietnam hasn't forgotten its culture. They're proud of their traditions while also looking to the future. In Hanoi you can see old temples next to modern cafes. It's this mix of old and new that makes Vietnam so interesting. Section 8. Challenges and opportunities. Navigating the future. Even though Vietnam is doing well, there are still problems. Fast growth has led to some people being richer than others, and the environment is being harmed. Climate change is a big threat to the coastline and farms, but Vietnamese people are smart and strong. They know about these problems and are trying to fix them. The government has plans to protect the environment, use renewable energy, and fight climate change. People in Vietnam are hopeful about the future. The country has a lot of potential, and the people want to make the most of it. Vietnam's future is bright, but it depends on the choices made today. By being innovative, protecting the environment, and staying true to its values, Vietnam can have a good future for everyone. Section 9. Vietnam, an enduring allure. Vietnam is a country you won't forget. It's beautiful, has a vibrant culture, and strong people. It's a land of contrasts where old and new meet, and where the past can be felt in both busy cities and quiet farms. Vietnam is an adventure, exciting for all your senses and shows the strength of the human spirit. It's a country that will make you think differently, learn new things, and touch your heart. So, come explore this charming country, experience its culture, and meet its amazing people. Vietnam is waiting for you.